That Ruth Bassar is a good boss. Never seen her humiliate.
And I'll take care of him, Commander. Don't mind me.
Target analyzed.
Henry, condolence message sent to family on record. No sign of subversive. Boldly striving to pinpoint source. Honing in on source. Focus terminating search. Results uncertain.
Investigating hostile intentions. Do try to limit further damage, Commander. Reducing enemy effectiveness.
plasma wrapped up in it? I wouldn't recommend getting close.
Suggest we scour the area. The scientists here were unlikely near the caliber of the Order,
But perhaps they left something useful.
Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Consul. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos, obtained it.
Confirmed what I expected from Protectorate scientists. And that we'll need that equation to clear our path further.
Statistic, Commander.
This is very curious. Some of the science eludes me, but this equation, although incomplete, clearly has to do with the rift in the other room. What do you think, Commander? This equation is compelling, yet incomplete. Lethiferous cosmological phenomena isn't exactly my area of expertise, but I may be able to suss out the underlying logic. I expect there's an existing copy of the full equation somewhere hereabouts. Some nice, quiet place whoever devised this could calculate freely.
Suppose this is a bad time to mention I barely passed my high-intensity arithmetic course at the Academy? foes.
Inspection. There.
This must be the Sovereign's office. Guess money and power can't buy taste. Well, ain't that convenient. First nice thing the Sovereign's done for us. Best to get this equation inputted as soon as possible. Taking credit for someone else's genius? Can't say I'm surprised. Good. My vision was starting to swim for a moment there.
off by orders of magnitude. Sovereign save us. Montserrat's hypothesis was correct all along. The results from the experiments were faulty. Capture the readings. We'll let the blame settle as it lies. Data retrieval complete. Let us hope the others return shortly. Yeah!
We might talk this over. All. Forever vigilant.
I see an unfriendly source.
Enemy in vicinity.
Come on out, so we might talk this over.
Got my lamps on an
infiltrate the Sovereign's ship, stop the console, and obtain the rift modulator. So, typical day on the job from here.
Troublemaker approaching.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Got eyes on some locals.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Taking the fight out of them. Multiplication in progress.
Attention. Please report to
Boarding was easier than I expected. Now, let's find a way to unseal the hangar before we're noticed.
Attention, crew deck. Intruder alert. Be vigilant.
Never hurts to give the enemy more targets to shoot at, I suppose.
And I'll take care of it, Commander.
Better get a move on before this ramshackle sprattle of a station falls apart. Hustle up to the science wing. Get the rift modulator. I'll talk at you later.
Greetings, subject. Please note that any attempts to haggle will result in an automated reprimand. Please make a request. This ship is only for authorized Protectorate subjects. You are on this ship. Thus, you are a Protectorate subject. If you are not a Protectorate subject, please purchase a weapon from this unit and shoot yourself. Subjects are expected to pay for any supplies beyond standard issue. Monthly munition supplies should be quite sufficient for training purposes. In case of enemy attack, subject is expected to kill invaders efficiently enough not to require additional resources. Displaying inventory.
What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. Acknowledged. This intercom is to be used for emergencies only. Misuse of this intercom will result in prompt arrest and correction of the perpetrator. Now, how can I assist you, Deck 01? How many times must I explain this to you all down there? Every subject aboard the Providence must keep their deck access credentials on their person at all times. If you misplaced your access card, Sovereign help you, because I surely cannot. Perhaps a colleague would be willing to lend you theirs,
Takes all sorts.
Takes all sorts.
Invasive elements!
Attempting to find cover!
Individualist!
Investigating hostile intentions. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Combatant scan.
Ready to waste it. On your command.
If you must replace lost equipment, please make a request. Received. Dispensing standard regimental supplies. Complete. If you have helm sizing concerns, please increase or decrease the size of your head. Reminder, any and all screams of agony will be reported to your superior. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Note, by viewing inventory, user admits they possess foreign currency and shall submit to inspection, interrogation, and/or violent beating by security, displaying inventory.
We could do this the hard way or the smart way. Either works for me. That wasn't so difficult now, was it?
Attention.
We either find access credentials or stick to the shadows then. Both options are certainly more efficient than raucous hostilities. Now to find the rift modulator. I estimate there's a 73.47% chance it's nearby.
you actually authorized? Come here a moment. Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. Ah, I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? You've been reviewing our experiments. I hope I'm not being replaced. I specifically went to mental refreshment to avoid that. If you wish to see the modulator, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Take these credentials with you, in case you're asked. Security's become awfully stringent of late. It wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I carry 2 cards, just in case. Oh, though I suppose it's just the one now. I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine. For if I do not, I fear I might be remade as part of the new plan for Arcadia. I do not wish to be remade.
Anathema to the grand plan and begs for correction.
Return to your work, my fellow subject. How could the Council believe any of this to be in accordance with the plan? A correction is inevitable, and such events are rarely pretty.
Energy manifolds at extreme low. In event of ship destruction, please inform this unit's engineer. Self-locking bolt inventory at 0. Please supply this unit at your earliest convenience in order to prevent catastrophic Unit has been functioning for 396.
Lord, look at the size of that thing. No way we're getting the modulator off the ship. Best we can hope is to get closer and learn more about it.
I was notified that you were here, though my fellow scientists seemed rather confused as to why, unsurprisingly. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs, and mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. The IRC. I did not realize you were a colleague of sorts. We haven't shared much of our findings with your branch, I'm afraid. But our results do match. Raw data from whatever a rift engulfs is preserved, yes, but the essence of a thing is not. Like a sense of self, for example, is lost forever. Further, there is no proof that such data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan is futile, completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound with the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It'll allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The Consul is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Science deck. Authorized visitor aboard. Do not fly.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematic secured. These rift coordinates are deep into unexplored space. That contradicts most rift causation theories, or hints at more troubling implications. Best table that topic for now. We can't do anything with the rift modulator yet, not until we deal with the console. So, shall we?
You, here before me. Surprised you could outrun these new legs of mine. They're what everyone's going to be wearing next fall. Well, I'm here now. Where's the rift modulator? So Consul Thoreau has everything directly under his control. I'd say that's remarkably competent for the Protectorate, but he is the one who's been pulling their strings all along. Did you find anything else of note? Wait, what? But rifts are caused by skip drive travel. Human-piloted skip drive travel. How is that possible? Oh, nothing would please me more. Just think, another form of intelligent life to sell goods to. A chance to create needs no one ever knew existed for beings we never knew existed. Much as I'm intrigued by the significance of all this, there's no time to dwell on it now. We need to confront the Consul. You might be savvy enough to talk him down, but his type requires a deft touch. You'll need to break him down brick by brick. If you're too adversarial, he'll simply shut down. Certainly. The doubt you cultivate up front will make him more susceptible to what comes after. And in case you aren't quite as sharp as you appear, be ready to fight.
Not that the console deserves it, none. But if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
I advise you to take this time to prepare and replenish supplies. See if you can snoop around and find a way to give yourself an advantage should these negotiations go south. And if you've anything else to say, say it now while you have the chance. I myself abhor unanswered questions and regrets.
Redactor Esmond. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands, especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying
The
doctrine.
Sovereign was a naive fool. The Consul, a scheming sprat with delusions of competence. Time will tell which was more destructive.
Atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
This is it, Commander. Only thing standing between us and saving Arcadia is a single dastardly villain. Feels almost quaint after everything else, don't it? This is the mission we should have been on from the moment the Earth Directorate dropped us into the system. Liberating Arcadia from its despots. I think of it as more of a group effort, but you're welcome. You know, back in the day, reading tales of all your daring do's, never could have imagined myself fighting alongside you. Not just as a fellow agent, but also a friend. Funny how life turns out. All right, enough jawing. Let's show the Consul to his reward. Law knows it's long past due.
Seems like our mission's almost complete, Commander. One way or the other. Before we finish this, I wanted to thank you. Showed me I still had more to learn. You and this crew, this little family of ours. It was an honor to be part of it. Now let's see this through. May all our travails add to the equation.
Never would I ever have believed Auntie Cleo herself would walk through that door. But I haven't time to linger in the novelty. Sentinels, if you would.
Do I appear like someone afraid of a few guns? Give it up, Emery. You've lost this war. Have some dignity. You're coming off desperate.
On the contrary, this desperate action is what will save all of Arcadia and rid it forever of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I don't doubt that, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously tampered with our Vox relay on Paradise Island. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you over anyone will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Do you know how many bits our corporation lost when the delegation ships were destroyed? The savings from the deceased salaries hardly even make up for it.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. It's only a crime in your estimation. When one clinches a decisive victory, who among the living would dare complain about the methodology? Using the very rift modulator on this ship, we will destroy Arcadia and edit the information stored within the resulting rift, all to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out.
Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken.
Yes, of course we argued over methodology. Henry was always too stubborn, too focused on the past to understand the opportunity before him. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. That one of the matriarch's heirs is not guiding us. But he needed to look beyond himself, like I am doing now. You just come and go as you please, do you? I ensured he would have a handler by his side if any assistance was needed. And I understand that it is, which is regrettable. But fulfilling the Architect's plan is worth the cost. Henry would agree. The people would agree. So you say. But you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
I doubt you've had anyone capable checking your calculations. You don't strike me as particularly thorough, or much of a heavy thinker.
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale might. One data point means little. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality.
I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims.
It's true. Your matriarch suspected the Protectorate was doomed from the get-go. Reuben was mucking things up even before his mother's body was cold.
No, Reuben would not have gone against her. He was the stalwart protector of Arcadia to the end. We can all see his devotion. If he even attempted to bastardize the Protectorate cause, then we will have undone all of the matriarch's work. I do not dismiss that I was complicit. It was my duty to guide him to the best of my ability. But surely it cannot be possible that I've gotten this wrong. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay. It doesn't matter what you bring before me. I stand firm in the knowledge that I am following the grand plan, and that I will be vindicated. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? Do you think I've found pleasure from the pain I've wrought? No! I've only done what I must. A child, a society, cannot grow into its potential without firm correction. I would die to see that the Protectorate's legacy would not be tarnished. Just as I would die for its promise to be fulfilled, and its subjects to live in peace. As are you.
Resorting to violence. Adversary vulnerability. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Locking them down. Grabbing enemy neurons. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Hey, got a distraction for you. We're here. 3 hole in the head.
You've suffered extensive damage. Check your scopes for combatants standing by to signify. There be none. Torpification in progress. You try to limit further damage, Commander. Right into the floor. Consider self-preservation a priority. If not, refuse medical support. Right into the floor. Join me in Action 1. Better in position. Seems all my considerable efforts here have been ill-spent. Total rift destabilization is imminent. Our last resort is our only resort now. We need to fly the rift modulator in.
That was a rather substantial hole in my predictions. These rifts have presented an excessive supply of incalculable variables.
Brighten up, everyone. Not all of us need go, but someone present will need to take one for the team. I do appreciate the effort, dear, but it's clear we're in a bit of a tough spot. The Order and I will use the schematics and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Well now, I suppose this is goodbye, isn't it? I should say how I appreciate you helping me gain control of Arcadia, to promise you it will be a better place for all, and avoid tearing up about how this all fell to you.
The results of that test of leadership and character don't surprise me. And so it falls to others. You know, I spent decades doing everything asked of me, and I was just starting to enjoy not doing that.
Commander, it's been an honor and a privilege. You really are the best the Directorate's got.
And so, in the end, the commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's choice. Acquisitions Officer Carr enjoyed the perks and power that came with promotion for her asset-winning techniques on Paradise Island. Her rival, D.B. Milverstreet, meanwhile, seethed as he pushed cold morsels of borschtloaf around the plate of his macrowave dinner. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Thanks to her effective performance at the Praetor blockade, Inez eventually became a VP of Auntie's Choice and head of the revamped grafting program. Through her egalitarian management style, grafting evolved into the corporation's first health benefit, available to all employees who wanted it. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.